Good morning and welcome to this edition of the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. I am so thrilled this morning on the show for two reasons. One, a little bit later in the program, we're going to have a conversation with a man you know as, quite simply, Ghost. Yep, if you watch Power, you know who Ghost is. Omari Hardwick is here, but he's Power. He's going to talk about a film festival. But we begin with a very special guest. She's here in Pittsburgh, Reverend Gail Bowman. You know what? We called you historian, lecturer. You're an attorney. You wear a lot of different hats. But we're glad to have you here this morning on the Lynn
glad
Hayes
to be
Freeland
here.
Show.
Thank you, Lynn. It's my pleasure.
So one of the things when I started looking at your information that leaped out at me was history.
Absolutely.
And it is so disturbing to me. And I used, just a couple weeks ago as an example when it was the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. King, and it didn't resonate with a lot of young people.
I understand what you're saying, and I understand your concern. Although I think a little bit more could have been done in advance for that. I think in some cases some teachers and so forth got caught unawares. But I do think the holiday does resonate, and different students observe that, and I think that's an important piece. One of my favorite pieces of that, of course, is many schools do a day in rather than a day out, so they do some activities, some community service, sometimes they do habitat, different things like that. So I do think we're in good hands with Dr. King and these young people.
Okay, then I won't stress over that.
Yeah,
I won't stress
okay.
over that. But sometimes I wonder in general, and especially, I mean, I'm all for technology and the ability to Google things, but sometimes I feel like our young people are not then developing the skills they need to learn the history that they need so they don't repeat it.
I have just come from an example of where they're really learning. May I tell you about it?
Absolutely.
Yes, part of the reason I'm in town, the main reason I'm in town actually, is to work with the Neighborhood Academy here in Pittsburgh. This is their History Week. And I was with them Tuesday and Wednesday, and then this morning I gave the keynote for the U.S. History, let me get it right, the U.S. History Paper, Research Paper Conference, the U.S. History Research Paper Conference. This is the third
they had
annual.
to do the research on their own prior to your arrival.
Yes, they've been working for months.
Okay.
They have. And so what it is was 4 schools, and it was, Shadyside was with them, and Ellis, and Central
Catholic?
Catholic, yes. And so the young people were in a panel up front, and they described what they had worked on and why they'd chosen it. And they answered questions in regard to that, and they even answered questions about what their professors could have done differently in teaching them how to do it. They were fantastic. I was so impressed. I was blown away.
So now, are these the lucky students, though? Are these the lucky kids that are learning those skills?
All of them learn it.
Or fortunate.
Yeah, all of them. In those 4 schools, all of them learn it, and there are a couple more schools who are looking at joining the conference. All of the students do it. All of the students do it. And the idea with the conference is these are the ones who clear the last hurdle. These are the best of the best. And they came and competed against each other all day.
Now, I am, because we had the ability, I'm just going to tell you up front, we did talk about some of this before we started rolling tape. But even the subject matters that you mentioned that they were looking at were very impressive.
Yes, 3 students, the 3 students, they separated, so I had to make a choice, and I stayed with the Neighborhood Academy kids. And Avian had a very interesting project about public art and whether or not it has an impact on the future of a city. And Joy had a piece about obesity in Wilkinsburg and why it has increased since 1980. And Tamaya had a very interesting presentation about resegregation of schools and her thoughts on what needed to happen to change that.
And so then at the end of the day, what's the takeaway then for the kids who weren't able to participate in an event like this?
A lot of them were there. It's very common for them to come and sit in the room and enjoy that. It's usually seniors who do the presenting, so the juniors are often there. But all of them do it. All of them are graded and so forth. And actually, I've read several of the papers over the years. It's taken very seriously. But when I spoke with the faculty and students on Wednesday, I talked about doing research generally. And one of the things I told them was keep it. You know, the question was, what shall I do with my research? And I said, well, you know, obviously on the internet you have many publishing options and so forth. But I said, when you go to college, and these are all college-bound kids, all of them, when you go to college, it's not unusual for a professor to say, is there a topic you'd like to do, or is there a topic you've already done that you'd like to spend some more time with. And it's not unusual for people to, in the fullness of time, end up writing a book or something on something that started clear back in high school. So I encourage them to, I said, don't throw it away, keep it and continue to visit it. And as you know, life has a way of circling back around to you anyway, so that works.
Okay, so you've made me do a complete 360 because I started this conversation with, oh my goodness, our kids aren't learning these skills and I'm worried about them, but you're telling me something altogether different.
Absolutely. Several of the kids from each school, at least one student from each school, commented on how they had not liked to do research. They'd gone into it reluctantly, they'd dragged their feet, they carried on, you know, how young people can do, and had discovered, especially if it's something that interests them, something about which they have been curious, they loved it.
They loved it.
And it was lovely to hear them say they love doing research.
We're going to take a break. I got a lot more I want to talk to you about.
That's fine.
Much more today on the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. We'll continue this conversation, and Omari Hardwick will be here as well, so don't go away when the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show continues.